Hello, and welcome to the showcase game for Under 22 Championships between Victoria women and Queensland women.
Under 22 National Championships, the Australian National Under 22 Championships, hosted at Deakin University in Warren Park near Geelong. Fantastic day here. It's been a little bit windy, a little bit cloudy. It's all cleared up now. We've got wonderful weather, about 20 degrees. And yeah, we're just waiting on the start of the women's showcase game between Victorian women's and the Queensland women's team. Queensland named themselves the Bubblers, and Victorian the Weedy Sea Dragons, named after obviously the
Seedy Weedies.
The Seedy Weedy Sea Dragon, which is a native Victorian. What do you call it? It's
I assume it's a sea dragon. I assume it's a fish or things.
Little dragony thing. Queensland's on the line, starting on defence. Into the wind they are, whereas Victoria won the toss and elected to start on the right-hand side of the field on offence, which is with the wind.
So the Victorian women, how have they gone so far this tournament, Callum? Do we know?
They've been playing quite well. Yeah, they've been having a pretty good tournament. They won a couple of early ones against some easier opposition. I think they played ACT, off my head, and won that one. And then just lost a really close game against New South Wales. So they're coming off a loss, playing against Queensland, which is one of the top teams to beat, essentially. I think it's in the women's division, you've essentially got New South Wales, Victoria, and Queensland on the top. So they need to win this one in order to put them in a good placing to go through to the finals.
They need to be top two.
They need to be top two, so
they can't lose any more games from here on out. They need to win out, win their last two games. And before the game starts, we'll try and get some. We'll try and get a chat in from the Victorian boys. We got one rocking in right now.
So yeah, Queensland coming into this on a high. Essentially, they won 2 of their games. So if they win this, they're guaranteed top seed. And if they lose this, they're still probably in really good stead to come first or second. So really, this is a game for Victoria to win. And we'll just have a brief update on the Victorian boys about how they went today.
We got Della here, we got Mike Trung. Tell us how you guys went.
Yeah, good day guys. Good day to all the people watching at home. Della, why don't you start off?
So we're 3 from 4 games today. Had some good wins, had one heart-shattering loss, and 3 good wins overall. We're looking in pretty good stead coming into the game tomorrow morning. Get us a win and we'll be into the gold medal game.
Yeah, so we started our day against SA. What? Yeah, so we started our day against SA. Had a good win there. Straight after that, we had a game against New South Wales. They got the break on us early. But yeah, they played really well and they beat us. But yeah, we're going to go back to the game now because it's starting.
So Queensland starting off with the pull. Put it up. Victoria women playing really fast down the line.
That run and gun up the line. We've talked about this Victorian play all day long. And if they can utilise this, they'll be in good stead. Just moving around, beautiful swing all across, right across the field.
Using the entire length of the field that went from almost on the sideline on the far side of the field to towards us right on the line. So they're using every single inch of the field here.
I reckon every single player's touched the disc at least once already. Very good movement here.
Yeah, Queensland don't have a chance to set their defence on at all. Victoria's moving it very quickly, which is what we like to see. Really nice offence. And a high release over the top. And a really nice D there. Really nice D there. Just can't see who it was. We've got a little bit of blocking from the commentary box.
That was Mueller with the D.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, Mueller's been playing really well today. So, throw up the line. Just couldn't get it by Crystal Rowe. So Victoria pick it up.
Bangs picks up. Just Prentice crushes in and just over the top. Very nice over the top. Over to Mahatch. Try and get it to Prentice. She wants to get it off the sideline. She does.
Great swing through.
To Vino. Mahatch, and they're running on a bit. She
she just loses balance a little bit.
Twinkle toes. That's at least 4 steps there, but not called. And they're just right there, and they
really nice play.
Let's get it in. As Genevieve Gross with the score.
Yeah, so Victoria obviously wanting to start this very fast. They've had a really heart-shattering loss against New South Wales where they're up by 4. Time cap went. Finished the point at 1. And then New South Wales managed to score 5 in a row to secure the lead. So Victoria want to start hard. You can just see there, Miriam just lost a little bit of balance. Nice big swing through the cup, and then all of a sudden they've got all of the space to work with. The fake through the middle, and then nice and wide. So
gives the defender a shimmy, gets her off her player.
That's it. It's only half a second, but that's all you need in this game. So Victoria get the first quick win, first quick score, downwind, and it's all on serve at this stage.
Just trying to get the live chat going again.
Setting up the YouTube chat. If you're watching at home, share it around. This is the showcase game between Victorian women and Queensland women. It'll be a really close, hotly contested game. 2 really strong teams. So share it around, chuck it up on Facebook at all the different local, or all the different state websites. And if you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, chuck us a comment. Let us know you're watching. So Victoria sitting on their strong defensive line.
Let's see Queensland's offense. These numbers are quite hard to see, though.
We've got Kat Smith on the first, Vivian next, Yuli Yep as the third, Jennifer Smith. So to Kat Smith. Little high release over the top to Dahlia.
Brilliant
and a layout D, and it's being called back.
There's been a call on the play.
There was a little bit of contact. We'll see.
The Victorian boys don't think that was the right call, but we're trying to keep it a bit. So might be a slightly biased decision there.
So there's a good discussion, and looks like they're contesting it and sending it back. So pretty good spirit so far today. The discussions have been pretty quick all round on all of the games we've watched. There hasn't been too much contact. And a huge put. Oh. And that is out of bounds. Unfortunately, she jumped from out of the field and tried to catch it.
Tried to jump back in before she got it and just couldn't get it. So quick centre to Robertson.
Huge put there by Vivian.
Robertson to go.
Fast movement by the Victorian
girls again. And once again, they're just gunning it, but
unfortunately threw it straight to Yule Yap. So Yule puts it to Kat Smith. Kat Smith jacks it. And the Victorian lady just gets
Sophie
right
Bells
away.
She was just there waiting work as that deep player.
Yule for Queensland has gotten 3 run-through Ds already. There's only been 3 turns, and she has been the D machine for all 3 of them so far. So Queensland need to keep her on the line.
That's the girl to watch.
Queensland need to keep her on the line if they want to get some more turns. She's reading the play really well. Put it back over the top to Dahlia Hendy. Hendy into the end zone. And that is a score for Queensland.
Jennifer Smith with the goal. And that's an offensive hold. Both hold their first points on offense.
Few turns for both of them. But the offense has been quite strong. So it'll be a really good sort of arm wrestle for this game. Obviously, a lot of support for the Victorians here, being that we are in Victoria. But it's good to see there's a lot of support for the Queenslanders. This is the showcase game, so there's no other games going on at the moment. Yeah, so there's no other games going on at the moment for the Queenslanders. So they've got the boys' side on the sideline, and I can just see the the mixed teams coming across over just after their game. So good weather, not too cold, not too windy. This will be a good game to watch.
So we got Victorian offense being marshalled by Chuck Lee. There's a lot of talking, and once again, it's the knee down versus the not knee down of the teams. Been talking about it all day.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting phenomenon that seems to be creeping into Frisbee.
But now they all know what's going on. Now they can put in good sideline talk.
So yeah, Victoria with their standard offensive line. And obviously there's a little bit of talk about the water cooler for Queensland. As you can see, all the support on the sideline. Big pull from Queensland. That is what we like to see. Full field. Victoria sets it moving early.
Vino picks up and looks upfield straight away.
Oh, just
just a bit...
Just misread by Sally there.
Cuts under. Should have just taken a couple more meters there.
Yeah, it almost looked like she looked under to catch the disc and just sort of tripped herself up, misstepped herself. Kat Smith picks up the disc, jacks it early, and straight over the top of their Queensland player there. Sorry, that was Ava Mueller who picked up the disc.
Prentice walking to the disc. Prentice Firetail. Just give and go.
Yeah.
And she's put it. Very nice put. Sally catches it Sally Ute just catches it on the end zone and just pops it over.
To Steph Chong in the end zone. So, early movement by Victoria. Queensland look like they're trying to do the same thing, but they've just had a few bad turnovers. So, yeah, Victoria just a little bit more polished at the moment. You can see in the background all the other games are finished now, so people are flooding to the sidelines, starting to get a little bit rowdy, which is what we like. Good atmosphere, makes for good Frisbee. Man, that's smooth movement on that replay. Just to see good vision, just to pop it out nice and wide.
So let's see if Queensland can hold their end of the bargain, hold their offense, and keep on applying that pressure on defense. Currently, it's been offense doing it their own way.
Yeah, it's been an offensive-owned game for the first couple of points. Victorian defense forced one or two. Yuli Yap from Queensland had fantastic effort on defense and got a couple of turns, but they just couldn't convert on offense.
They got some big players on this line. They got Smith, they got Simpson.
Yuli Yap is back on, I see, and Vivian has been chucked on. So, strong line here by Queensland. Nice pull there by Victoria.
And
just landed in,
Oh.
and it's been called out.
I don't know. I guess we're going to have to see a replay.
Probably not in the best position here on the Comedy Rocks. We are close to the sideline.
Just the angle. But then straight away into a zone. Zone with an assassin, it looks like.
That's a fantastic read by Victoria.
And a one-point turn, but a turn straight back.
They tried to get it moving early, but I think that was just a little bit too early. The defenders still hadn't changed to offense. They hadn't realised that it was a turnover.
So they just want to slow down this offense, and they've generated another turn, just bulleted right into her chest. Couldn't get the hands together. And we got Ma marshalling the troops. Ma to go to Ma, all the way to Robertson, and they're out on this open side.
Sienna Go pops it into the middle. Oh, goes for the break throw through the middle, but Kat Smith was onto that. and just threw an arm out, got the D.
And
Ava Mueller picks it up and jacks it into the end zone. There's a contest, but
snag.
It was all Victoria in there.
That's catching your Ds enthusiastically.
We like to see catching a Ds. There's been too many bobbles this game.
In all games.
In all games. In every game so far today, there's been bobbles that have been caught that shouldn't have been. So, timely reminder to catch your Ds.
Unlucky. They're moving it much better now.
Yeah.
The D line with disc in hand, they're doing much better now.
Kat Smith picks up the disc and pops it high release backhand over to Ava Mueller, who manages to hold on. Pops it over the top.
And they're just jacking it every time. And once again, Caroline Ma comes up big, gets a D.
Yeah, Dahlia Hendy there, just about 3 inches too short, but also not in a great position. She was in the front and that disc was floating over the top of her. So it looks like Queensland just trying to jack it, but Victoria's onto it and they're putting on a pretty good zone.
Robertson with the disc. Looks at that quick break to Mihatch.
Once again, down the line.
She finds Gross and she's looking inbound. It's very good by this Victorian team is that they always try and look to center the disc as much as they can. Just unlucky off the hands.
Yuli Yap picks it up, looks to get it early, moving early, and great
breakthrough.
Low release backhand break through to Mueller, straight down the line.
And they've done it again, they've jacked it again.
Vivian Yun just then jacking it, and
once again.
Caroline Ma is just on top of it playing as that deep. She's not allowing anything.
She's playing against two wings and she's won every matchup so far. They just can't get it past this halfway line.
I was going to say, that's the third throwaway so far down the line to Genevieve Gross. I don't know if they're throwing it just too far in front, not giving her time to catch, or if she's just not fast enough. So, hammer over the top. And once again, Caroline Ma is there to mop it up.
That's the second time she might be moving just a bit too quickly with the disc. That's the second time this point that the receiver she's been thrown to wasn't ready because they were still playing defense. That's how quickly she's getting those Ds.
Kat Smith puts her hands down, says, I'm going to take it, picks it up, puts it to Yuli Yap, to Mueller, and then Jack puts it in the end zone. So Queensland, the first team to settle on that point, I think. Lots of turns, but finally, it was the experience of Kat Smith. She walks the disc, puts her hand up, says, everyone, calm down, get into your stacks. I'm going to take control here.
I think she realized that was a very different... It was three people around in the cup, but there was actually an assassin put on by the Victorian team, and she realized that she was being assassinated. She might as well pick up the disc.
Yeah, smart.
There's a bit of banter coming from the sideline. It's just not on, considering they were trying to commentate here.
It's a good atmosphere down here in Warren Ponds, which is down near Geelong, south of Victoria. Deakin University. They've really nice grass setting here. It's mowed nice and flat. And it's been run by the G-Fush Geelong Ultimate Frisbee team. They're doing a really good job at this tournament. We've got good supply of water, good supply of lollies, good supply of sunscreen, and the weather's not too bad. It hasn't rained, which is...
Oh, you've got the commentator's curse.
Oh,
if
I've
it
called
happens,
it now,
it's on you.
but any tournament in Victoria, if it doesn't rain, it's good luck.
Timeout call. Did you see who was called by?
Called by Queensland. Called by Queensland, this one. I think they just want to consolidate... that score and say... As you can see here, Dom Simpson's out on the sideline, sort of talking to them about how they want to run their zone.
They realised there were some flaws in their offence, but they got it through.
Yeah,
a quick timeout call to just make sure of what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they just want to go over the little things like calm down once we've got the turn. You don't have to pick it up and run it super fast. And also as that zone defence, just to calm down, because Victoria were running through that zone defence really easily. And Victoria sitting here, utilising this timeout called by Queensland. They'd be pretty happy with how they're going. Getting that disc moving really early. They've got really good flow. Probably just want to knuckle down once it gets to the offensive, to the open sideline, because they've thrown it away 3 or 4 times at last point.
Just pushing it a bit too far.
Yeah, and on the open side, Normally you're turning that over on the break side, but they've been on the offense on the open side, which is a little bit concerning.
I think that's probably what the coach, Chuck is telling them, that they're getting the turns. They're doing everything that they're being asked to do on defense. Just once they have the disc, there's no pressure. They have everything that matters. They have 50 minutes to get the score.
Exactly.
Take as much time as you need. Just make sure of it.
Yeah.
Retain the disc. The team that retains the disc will win. As shocking as that sounds, the team that has the disc will win.
Team that has the most possession normally has the win at the end of the game. So Queensland out. They've only got 2 minutes for these timeouts, but
they've really been pushing these 2 minutes. All teams today.
Yeah, all tournament, and I think that's due to the fact that it's an under-22s tournament. So there's a lot of coaching, as opposed to say a Div 1 team or a Worlds team that has a lot of playing experience. There's a lot of personal one-on-one coaching that needs to be done here, and we've already seen a good development. I went and watched the Victorian girls earlier today, and their team structure and the way they all are playing with each other has already developed heaps throughout the first day. So it's a really good tournament for sort of developing younger players.
You just can't truly replicate championship level play
at training. Exactly.
No matter how good the scrimmage may be, the pressure and the teams you're playing, majority of these people probably have never seen the opposition, let alone heard of them. So it's just such a new thing. There's a large call of Viv.
Queensland calling on Vivian.
Vivian UN. They've heard the commentators talking her up. They've given her the call up.
Obviously, there was a call there, and Vivian just didn't hear it, so she wandered off on the sideline. She was putting some sunscreen on. Had to quickly wipe her hands on the grass. So
she's currently running hot as the defensive player for Queensland with 3 Ds already.
Yeah, Vivian and Yulei are probably in a competition at the moment. So Queensland putting on a strong defensive line here. Vivian, Yulei, Kat Smith, Ava Mueller. Really tall, really strong, really experienced line up against the Victorian. I think this is the point. Queensland called that timeout. I think
they want this
break. This is the one. They've called their strong line. I think this is the point that they want.
Victoria's matched up with an equally strong offensive line, though. Vino, Prentice, Cowley, Chung, Burchett, Banks,
and Prentice,
and Bell.
And Bell. Well, that's a good line.
I feel like we said more than 7 names, so that's just how it feels. That's how good the line is.
Great pull by Kat Smith, nice and deep. Prentice catches it, gets it moving early. Back to Prentice.
They really get those first 2 passes out really quickly. But now they just need to keep it moving now. Do what they've been doing for the last couple of points, just keep it moving.
Prentice calls in Jules. She says, come to me. I want you cutting towards me, not away from me. Gets it to her on the open side.
Cowley
Jules dumps it back. Just Sophie Bell. Looks down the line, and she just couldn't keep that in the air.
Just rolled that disc over, and down she went. So Katie Smith picking up disc. Her dump, Mueller runs away, but somehow manages to get back in time. Very well done.
She has very long arms, Ava Mueller. Puts it over the top. Looking for Sophie Taylor, but it was just a little bit too long. She extended out at the right time, but yeah, just couldn't quite get there. So Banks to pick it up. Banks to pick it up?
Yeah, Banks.
Yeah, Banks to pick it up for Victoria.
Great initiation cut, but just over but beautiful. Catch your Ds, we've been saying it over and over again.
Once again.
If I had $1 every time I said catch your Ds today,
we'd have enough to buy a few chocolate bars.
I'd have at least $3.
Prentice with the disc again. Pops it in the middle to Jules.
Callie's doing some serious work as that initiation cutter.
Back
getting
to
almost
Banks.
every second. Vino. To Cowley. To Prentice. And a shot.
Oh, great pass there. inside throw. It's a hard one to do, especially when you got a good mark on, and
Makes that look easy.
makes it look easy. That was just right in front of her. She didn't have to break her stride at all. That's perfect.
So after that timeout call, Queensland wanting that break, they got the turn they wanted, they just couldn't execute.
They worked it. They had to throw into the end zone to Sophie Taylor, but she just couldn't get there. It was a little bit off. So
And Victoria capitalised.
Victoria capitalised, and now those Queensland players are tired. Let's see if they put them back on the line.
Who are they calling on defense? They're going to try and match a strong defensive line with an equally strong defensive line.
They have called a very short line, I noticed.
Maybe speedier than the... Well, they realise that Caroline Ma...
I have a feeling if Caroline Ma is on the field and Georgia Thompson is on the field, they're going to be putting their zone on. It worked so well last time. I think Caroline had about 4 Ds where they just went up and she ran through and caught them. So we're calling it here. It's going to be the Victorian zone on up against a strong Queensland offensive point. So Chuck, the Victorian coach, just going through a few last-minute positioning setups for the zone. He was looking at them, pointing with hands, looking at where they should be setting up for the mark. Obviously, it looked like they don't want to be giving any around throws. They want to stop that because they want to let them throw deep. So not a bad pull for the zone, nice and deep, and that's exactly what they've come down for. Oh, awesome layout there by Eula, yep, but not a great throw, unfortunately, from Mueller as the first one. You've got to make that. You pick it up from the pull, you have to make that a connection.
Gross gets the under, gets it to Robertson. Just now, patience now required. Ma to Robertson, and they're working all the way around.
And that 1-2 by
and that's the
Victoria.
break.
Watch this replay by Victoria. The 1-2 that initiates with Gross and Robertson was fantastic. That's something that you can't teach.
That's just playing together.
Yeah, exactly. Because straight away, she threw that. You can see here. So she clears, gets that, immediately breaks back, and that's the first throw she's looking at. So now all of a sudden you've got it on the break side with an open field with no mark on you. That is just pure class. Most people in that position, when you dump it directly back, would cut straight up the line, which essentially cuts off any throw forward throws. But by cutting across like that, you're opening up the whole break side, and then the continuation cut by the Victorian stack was just perfect timing as well.
Very good movement.
So that's the first break. That's the first break of the game. Victoria managed to get that one downwind after Queensland called their strong line. And that may have been a mistake call. They called the strong line, they didn't get it, and then they couldn't call those players on again because they were a little bit tired. So Victoria had that stronger line.
Long point. Just they cleaned up. It was a bit more efficient. Just didn't panic. No panic throws. Just saw what they needed to do. It didn't help Queensland's cause. They turned it after one throw.
Definitely not what you want on an offensive line, to pick it up from the pull and to turn it over immediately on the first throw. And it wasn't a pressure throw either. It was a throw to an open player. It just was a bad throw.
She got up to it. She got hands to it. Just the ground knocked it out.
Yeah, she tried everything she could, but unfortunately, call it a thrower error if you will. So Victoria pulling downwind. Not a very long pull, but they've come set up in the zone anyway. So,
and the assassin looks like to be happening again, and it's worked again.
Queensland just put it out to Harriet Barringer, and she just sort of floundered a little bit. She got a finger to it, but just couldn't get close enough. So Victoria have another chance. This is another chance for a break, and Prentice will be holding onto this disc for dear life, I think.
She'll be trying to get as much of this disc as possible.
Exactly. She knows that this is an important point, and so look at her. 1-2, 1-2, every second throw she wants.
The bare minimum required for her to get the disc every time. There's been a pick call.
And this is what I'd expect Prentice to do. With the amount of experience she has and playing the amount of Worlds campaigns that she has, she knows that for their team to win, she wants to get as much hands on the disc as possible.
They've worked it all the way, 10 metres away now from the end zone. Just need to get this next throw off. They do.
And a great grab there.
Sally Yu.
Bang to Prentice.
Back to Prentice, and that's a downwind break.
So Victoria.
They're going to bet on a run.
5-2. Scored the last 3 points, and it didn't look like that after a couple of points. It looked like it was going to be an extremely close game. So Queensland need to do something. They need to bounce back here.
They haven't even given themselves a chance the last couple of points. I think they've only touched the disc maybe 3 times.
Yes, it's been
just
unfortunate.
Quick turns.
And that's the way it is in Frisbee. You can see here Prentice just taking control. So gives that dump, gets it back immediately, fakes the big one, massive gainer, runs, gets the disc again, tells everyone to get out of her way, gives that dump, 1-2. So it's essentially just Prentice walking the field up, walking the disc
and
up the field.
And her defender knows it. It's just she's that fast.
It's so hard to shut down. So hard.
They know what she wants to do, and she still can do it.
Exactly. So, yeah, Queensland, unfortunately, the last 2 points was a turnover on the first pass and a turnover on the second pass, that one. So they just need to hold on to that disc on offense, really.
And they've called the strong line here.
Called their good line again, and Dom will be stressing to them. We're playing all right. We've got good defense. It's just 2 bad mistakes. 2 bad mistakes have resulted in 2 scores. So, yeah, Queensland just got to keep their spirits up, because if they play how they played the first couple of points, they'll score. Really close. So Caroline Marr with the disc for Victoria, pulling.
And that's a nice pull.
Good distance on that. Caught by Kat Smith. She's getting it early to Mueller. Back to Kat Smith. Straight down the line.
And that's the most throws they've thrown in the last 3 points.
Almost
so
got the run through by Sally Yu. Almost got it. Becca Chang puts it back to Mueller, and Mueller just puts a little bit too much pepper on it. Just sails over the Queenslanders.
And Bell has been doing that quite a lot this game already. Being very big in that end zone.
Yeah, so we saw Prentice establish herself on the game. She came in and established her presence on the game last point and resulted in the score for Victoria. I wonder if Kat Smith is going to do the same. There's just a pick called here, so play stops as they find out what it's coming in on. But I think Kat Smith needs to do that as well. Same class as player as Prentice. She really needs to take control and become the main thrower for this. Take control and tell everyone else where to go. Caroline Marr puts a nice tasty one up the line to Gross.
Just now to chill
Looks
out
for
here.
a dump as Marr comes back up.
She gets it to Mahatch. Hopefully pronouncing that correctly. There's a lot of consonants in that name.
Mahatska.
And Robertson goes to the inside, but read better by the defense.
Yeah, really good read there by Amy Bolt. She's been playing fantastic defense all tournament so far.
And
cold drop there by Becky Chang, which just gives Victoria another chance. So Queensland mistakes, bad Queensland mistakes, close to the end zone line, are resulting in
very good offensive position.
Yeah, very good offensive position for Victoria. So they're forcing the turns, but really, you need the whole field to force a turn. You can't be expected to try and force a turn in only a quarter of the field.
And there we go, another one.
And there's another score for Victoria. So Queensland need to do something.
there's really not much they need to change. It's just they need to make sure of the disc a bit more. They're just dropping it. They're like, what they're running seems to be working.
I don't know if they haven't done a proper warm-up, or if they just, maybe their dancing warm-up that they did before the game wasn't good enough.
Maybe the switch on actually switched them off. Who knows?
Exactly. So, yeah, Queensland unfortunately playing well. As you can see here, Victoria puts that nice, tasty throw up, and it's just in a really nice position. Just sits in the end zone, makes it easy for the receiver to get. Yeah, so Queensland, they're just struggling a little bit. They're playing quite well, but just bad mistakes, cold drops and throwaways when they really shouldn't be throwaways. The problem is the talent that they have on their team shouldn't be making these mistakes.
Perfect. Let's join it.
So a lot of the, as we were saying before, there's a lot of the coaches for the under-24s competition coming up in a couple of years in Perth. I think it's January 2018 in Perth. A lot of coaches and selectors wandering around the fields here. A few names like Max Halden, Anson Chung, Yui.
It's a local tournament,
Mish,
so they want to put as good a team as they can.
Exactly. Mish Phillips and stuff all wandering around with their notepads, writing names down, having a look at different people. The mixed team, in particular, having to run to all the women's and the men's and the mixed games here to look at everyone. So it's a really good talent pool. Easy way to have a look at everyone in a non-formal selection process. Queensland on offense once again for the 4th point in a row. They really need to score this one to give them a chance to come back.
And it looks like that zone again.
Jenny Smith picks up the disc, sets it to the middle to
UN,
Vivian.
to Smith.
Oh, and once again, just pushing it a little bit too much. Amanda Wong there, probably throwing something that you probably shouldn't be throwing.
She wouldn't be throwing that if the game's 6-all.
Yeah, exactly.
But
good run through D there. Jenny Smith just saw that coming, run through, got 2 hands on it, made sure of it. Kat Smith putting it through to UN, who just jacks it in the end zone, and huge hops.
Great grab there.
Huge hops there by Amy Bolt.
They've got one back.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't Amy Bolt. That was Sophie Taylor. But huge hops by Sophie Taylor. She just, instead of running to the back of the end zone, she just knelt down, got herself ready, and jumped up like a kangaroo for that one.
So they gave Victoria another chance, but Victoria this time
early movement here by
didn't
Queensland. Look at that put by UN straight over the top of the players, straight over the defender, and she had to get up high. That was a good vertical leap there. So all the selectors, have a look at that. She's got at least a 40-centimetre vertical leap off that. Write that one down. So Queensland finally arresting the breaks. 4 breaks in a row for Victoria before Queensland could stop them.
And it shows you they can do it if they're not forcing the turns.
Yeah,
they have the talent. They have the skill.
They definitely have the talent on this team. They just, a couple of points. Sometimes you switch off, and if you switch off for a few minutes in ultimate frisbee, that might cost you 2 or 3 points. So it'll be an interesting second half of the game to watch the comeback. Calls from Queensland for Victoria to hold the line because they're wandering all over the shop. Can't call, obviously. I think they're calling man. they couldn't call it man because Victoria is wandering all the way. So Queensland coming down in a hard man defense. And interesting tactic. Most teams will be putting a zone on when the other team's going upwind or left to right. So to opt to go man is an interesting one, although they might be doing a transition.
Pull comes up and it's
floating back in. That's a wonderful pull there.
Comes in right at the last moment. Very nice pull.
Caroline Ma
To Mahatch.
Sophie Bell picking it up to Mahatch.
She looks back just as she leaves.
Oh, wonderful inside break there to Ma. And a fantastic run through there by Amy Bolt. That was pure speed on that. They were arm for arm, and Amy just extends through. Probably not the best option as a dump. She did have a few more seconds, so she could have faked that and looked up the line, but great D there by Amy Bolt. Mueller for Queensland with the disc. Pops it over. Yuli Yap.
Very good over the top there.
Yeah.
That's how you break through the fence.
Yuli Yap looking deep, but just throws it straight to Caroline Ma. That was... It wasn't even trying to go around her. It was directly to the opposition.
Kara's got a lot of those. She seems to be attracting the disc on those deep shots.
I don't know what she's wearing in her boots, but it's got disc attractant in it. There must be some sort of magnetic field around her.
And there she is again.
Once again, another D. So Caro's just playing for the stats at the moment. Georgia Thompson with the disc.
Sullivan.
Georgia Sullivan.
I was wondering who Georgia Thompson was on your team sheet. My team sheet says Sullivan.
Caroline Ma into the end zone. Boom.
Easy score there.
Yeah, Victoria just using the width again. I think that was 4 swing, 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 open side.
One of the few teams we've seen today in any division that has swung it the whole way. Majority of the times, it's a very nice offense
definitely.
when you can just break open that force with just so many swings, where the break side is just so open.
Yeah, you can see here that good D by Caro, straight up the line. Up the line again, and then this is where Georgia does the team thing. She fakes, she fakes, she fakes. Everyone runs up the line, including the defenders. Dumps it back, and then goes for that. Georgia, awesome for that swing, swing again, and then you got that open side. All the defenders think the disc is still on the other side, so that fast movement across just opens up the whole field. Really, really good movement there by Victoria.
And a timeout's being called.
The timeout's being called. I have a feeling it's being called by Queensland. So timeout's being called. Victoria taking advantage of it. They're getting a drink, getting some lollies, having a fun time. Queensland's been pulled in for another discussion. Trying to come up with some tactic to not only arrest the Victorian offense, but get a break. They haven't been able to stop this swinging motion. So maybe
once they get it moving, Victoria looks very damaging.
Fast, yeah. So I don't know what they've got to do. Maybe put on a zone, or even put on something like an assassination on the dump. Maybe leave only one deep and put a deep player short on, say, a handler or something, to try and stop that handler movement and let them throw deep, because Queensland does have quite a deep team. If you've got someone like Amy Bolt or someone in the end zone, they should be able to shut down that whole deep space. So, yeah, Queensland just having a quick chat about what they're going to do on defense. Their offense is pretty good when they can hold on to the disc. But, yeah, they've got to come up with something, because Victoria's up 4 points. So,
and they don't want to get broken here. So they get broken here, that's half.
They cannot get broken here. That's not even an option for Queensland if they want to win this game.
For Victoria, just keep doing what they're doing. Really, they're giving Queensland some opportunities, but they're getting much more. They're generating a lot of turns on their defense, and once they're away,
yeah, Victoria. The only issue that I see is that they throw it away a lot, but that's a product of their game style. They move it very fast, short, sharp throws, and if you're playing like that, it's a high-risk situation. So far, they've had more completions than they have turnovers, so I wouldn't change anything. So Victoria, all on the line, on their knees, listening to the comments, listening to the team tactics. So, having a look at the YouTube comments, obviously, shout out to Simon Wood. Thanks for the update. You've got the scoreboard in front of you. So, if Queensland win this, it puts them in the final. It's a guaranteed final spot. If Victoria win this, it gives them a shot to win. So, Victoria, because they had a couple of losses today, I think. A loss
against New South
loss
Wales.
against New South Wales. They need to win this in order to go through. And so if Victoria win this, that'll mean Queensland have a loss, Victoria have a loss, and New South Wales have a loss. I think. Yeah.
They become head to head with Queensland.
Oh, they go head to head to
And then
Queensland.
they
So
have
they're
Western
fighting
Australia,
for
I
that
think,
second
tomorrow.
spot. Yeah. So that'll mean there's 2 teams with 1 loss going for the second position. So this really is a make or break game for Victoria.
And they're showing it with the way they're playing here.
Definitely.
They know what's at stake. Paul comes up, and Paul comes
to the commentary box, straight over our heads and into the computer guy's tent here.
That's all the way into Ballarat, that one.
Sean Johnson put his
a different
hand up.
area code.
He's on the controls, organising the whole live stream. He put his hand up to catch that one. And so the disc is coming in almost on the halfway mark for Queensland.
This is very beneficial for them. This is exactly what they wanted. And
a dangerous put, but a lovely put. The bladey flick over the top. Kat Smith's got the disc again. Puts it out to Vivian Yuen. Into the end zone, and a little bit too much spice on it. Jennifer Smith, Amanda Wong just couldn't get to that one.
meters of space. Just put it a bit too far.
Yeah, she was there all day, and there was no mark on Vivian there, so really no excuse to throw that one away. Especially after the great flick blade over the top. That just opened it up. They were stuck on that sideline. I think that's an opportunity gone begging for Queensland. Although
Sally Yu
dropped there by Sally Yu. So
outran
Queensland
the disc there.
Yeah, exactly. Queensland get another chance. Kat Smith walks to the disc, picks it up, puts the
Hammers it
hammer over the
again.
top,
And that's a
and
grab.
that's a score.
Perfect
Sophie Taylor once again has caught another goal when Queensland needed it. So I did say before, if Kat Smith can implement herself in the game, then Queensland have a chance. And so far, she had that, was responsible for that good break, which was thrown away, and then once again, massive hammer over the top to Sophie Taylor.
And there you see just
that
unlucky,
drop.
just a bit too fast.
Yeah, drop there by Sally Yu. Had time to go for it as a pancake with 2 hands, but opted for the one. And then Kat Smith didn't think of anything else. She's like, hammer, 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 score. Beautiful. So Queensland trading once again.
Oh, the other game. Typical. With the microphone right here. So Victoria has a chance now on offense to take half.
Yeah, so both teams looking about half here. So Victoria will be starting on offense, but going into the breeze. And we say that in the breeze really
It's died down a lot.
it's negligible now. Now that dusk has come, there's a little bit of a gust occasionally, but it's less than 10 degrees, I'd say. So you just got to hold on to that disc for a little bit. But the long throws should be opening up, and that's going to favour Queensland a lot, I think, with players like Kat Smith and Ava Mueller, who are happy to put that long punt in. Queensland, I think, got to start using that on offence.
That just seems to be coming all the way back in.
Yeah,
Lost a bit of yardage there.
that was not a great pull by Mueller, I think it was. Almost hit the halfway mark.
And Victoria's gone Horro. I don't know if they've been Horro before out of the
Not in
gender
this
matchup.
game. Not in this game, I don't think. But it does benefit their play style because of the short, sharp plays, so it opens up a little bit of space for them. Back to Prentice.
Gets bumped, gets a couple of centimeters there, and then just flips it over to
Vino just
Ma.
pulls that off her toes and then pops it through to Ma running through. That was a really good grab by Vino to keep that play alive. And that's half for Victoria, so they're quite happy with themselves, 8-4.
Very strong half. There's going to be some, what you probably expect, some of the
you can just see
coaches
here,
and captains.
You can just see here that play from Victoria cramming up the line. See Vino, wonderful grab there in tough conditions that had the defender coming through, and then the presence of mind to see Ma coming across and just pop it out to them. Just a good completion. Kat Smith with the wonderful hammer earlier into the end zone has just wandered over the commentary box to keep the score. It's 8-4. Yeah, Kat Smith pretty happy with herself, obviously, with that hammer across.
Wouldn't do her ego a lot of good. Great throw.
Was a wonderful throw. So I got a couple of minutes break here for half time, so everyone has a little bit of time to chuck some lollies in, eat some chocolate, have a drink, and everyone on the sideline can run up to the barbecue that they've got going here at these good facilities. Deakin University.
Get some dinner in.
Wern Ponds, yeah, they're Geelong Ultimate Frisbee Club is hosting us here. They've got a great barbecue set up with sausages, snags and burgers and everything. So kept us well fed throughout the day. And yeah, really good atmosphere here. Most of the teams have stayed around. Sometimes you have tournaments where it's a bit hectic and everyone goes home. They've got to go and jump in the ice bath or in the cold shower, or if you're in my team, in the hot shower, because ice bath is too damn cold. But yeah, a lot of people still sticking around because the weather's quite nice and the food is good as well. So you can see here, Queensland just having a little bit of fun at lunch, at halftime. Obviously, they know they're playing quite well, but there was a couple of points there, about 4 points in a row, where they just had a bit of a brain fart. Some bad drops, some bad throwaways, and Victoria capitalised. So I expect the second half to be at least trading, but Queensland are going to be coming out hard. They need to get a couple of breaks early on because time is waning down, and they would like to be in it at the end. Obviously, they know if they win this,
they're through to the finals.
So, yeah, Queensland, pretty chill at the moment, but they know coming out of this, the pressure is going to be on. So it's half-time here at the Under-22s Nationals Championship Showcase game. Victorian Under-22 women taking on the Queensland Under-22 women. Not a terribly close game at the moment, but that's really due to Queensland just having a few errors, 4 points in a row. They just went on a little bit of a... Oh, Victoria just went on a little bit of run. Queensland had a few bad throwaways. And apart from that, the game has been very close, so Queensland will be looking to come out from half and get a couple of breaks. Should be game on in another minute or so.
Just been informed.
Oh, get wrecked, Marcus, get wrecked! Sorry guys, you take me later.
Most of the people are sitting around. It's fine. We're about that before we jump. That's fine.
Pete Allen special.
Oh, he does it all the time. Yeah. And he adds to it, so it looks like a record hug. So back here after half. Queensland on offense on the right of screen going downwind.
They'll want to get a couple of quick points here. Really start this half off well. Just to put some doubt in this Victorian team, sorry.
Definitely not a Melbourne team. With representatives from Ballarat, from Geelong, from all over.
Straight away into that assassin zone.
Barringer with a disc.
And just pops
Just
it
couldn't
up.
find a defense, couldn't find a dump. Puts it over the top and Victoria get the turn.
Sullivan got clobbered into by Smith, but she seems to be up and about. The turn still stands. So Caroline Marr with the disc. To Robertson in the middle. Gross to Marr. Finds Sullivan.
Once again, that swing to the other
Get
side
it all the way across every time.
just opens up the field so much.
Finds Robertson in the middle. Mahatch to Marr. Just using side to side to side.
Really, really, really good flowing play by Victoria. They go to one side. If that gets closed off, it's dump and swing around to the other side. And the biggest problem, I think, for Queensland is they're not putting a mark on. Looks like they're forcing straight up. If they're not meant to be forcing straight up and they're meant to be forcing a mark, it's not a good mark. Victoria's just throwing through it.
Throwing anything they want, really.
There doesn't seem to be any restriction to where they can throw. So Queensland really need to address that if they want to get a turn. So Queensland almost looking like they're lacking interest now. Struggling to get enough players on the sideline. People on the sideline putting the jumpers on. It's getting a little bit late in here in Melbourne, or here in Geelong, so the weather change is coming. It's getting a little bit colder, and there's people from Queensland obviously struggling a little bit with the cold.
Having acclimatise, probably arrived a bit late heading into this.
Yeah, exactly. Not a great night's sleep last night. It's been a long day so far today. They've already played a couple of games. They're down by 5 points. It looks like they're really lacking motivation. Everyone on the sideline is sort of a little bit disengaged.
This is their fourth game today, so it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Started playing at 9 o'clock.
Victoria, on the other hand, that kneeling on the field looks like it is sort of keeping them in because it forces them to come onto the field, forces them to stay engaged.
Makes them focus.
Yule Yap with a great little break throw through to Jennifer Smith. Back to Vivian Yun, back to Yule Yap, back to Mueller. Now they're stuck on the sideline. Mueller over the top.
Very nice
top
throw.
over the top to Amanda Wong. Back to Jenny Smith, back to Mueller. Wide to Yule Yap, back to Mueller. Back to Yule, back to Mueller.
Very nice
To
around.
the swing to Jenny Smith, back to the middle.
And then
to Amanda
just
Wong.
get it
Back
that
to Mueller.
one extra
This
throw.
is really good play by Queensland. Oh, almost got the D there.
Oh, unlucky.
And then once again, the cold drop sneaks in. Vivian Young.
Drops it at the ankles.
And after all of that good movement, yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that Vivian dropped it there, right on the end zone line. Now Victoria have another chance for another break. Great grab there
by Cowley. And centers it to Mahatch. Is it Mahatch? No, that's Banks.
That's Banks. You can probably see the glare on the camera just from the sun. It's just come out, peeked out from behind the crowd. Makes it a little bit difficult to see, but we will deal with it.
Very nice around all out of Vino to Prentice, and they once again they get it all the way from one sideline to the other in 3 throws. And Callista Chung gets the score thrown by Cowley.
Yeah.
And Queensland, after looking so good for so long in that point.
And that's another break to Victoria.
Just one unlucky drop, and that's all Victoria need.
I think that's the straw that has finally broken Queensland's back in this game. There's no coming back from this. 61 minutes on the clock. The game's a 70 minutes to time cap. And the way Queensland is at the moment, Victoria's just called a timeout. But the way Queensland is at the moment, half the players look like they've already taken their boots off.
They just need something. They need something from their captain. They need something from their coach.
Good little swing there to Cowley, and then Cowley with the presence of mind just to wait for that cutter.
She got very close to that line there.
I was going to say, almost looked like on the replay, like she landed on the line.
We might need to get a zoom and enhance that vision there.
Controversy on the field, but I don't think there'd be much complaining from the Queensland side anyway. They feel like this game they want to just be over. Go home.
They just want to get some food.
Yeah, go home, get some food, and get ready for tomorrow.
They just need someone here to stand up, to put up some fight. If not for this game, for tomorrow morning. They've got another early game tomorrow to finish off pool play.
And they need to win that. They win that. And if Victoria wins theirs tomorrow, then
they're in a tie.
They're in a tie, and it'll probably go to points cap or points difference. So Victoria need to actually win this by a lot. Currently they're up 10-4, and Victoria will be looking. Chuck will have the points difference sitting there for the day, and he will be looking at it very closely. He will be wanting to extend this lead as much as possible, and for Queensland's sake, they want to cut that lead down as much as possible. The win is next to impossible from here, but they need to cut that points difference down because it will come down to points difference if they end up having a win-loss difference.
We're watching a bit of freestyle here from the Queensland boys. Getting the glare in his eyes just as he's shooting it up.
Yeah, you can see the wind here, not too strong, but it's obviously affecting that disc a little bit, so that's what everyone's been dealing with all day, and it has been stronger than that for most of the day.
So Victoria just wants to get as many of these points on the board now. They sense that Queensland may have weakened a bit mentally. And their offense for the last couple of points
has really just gone to another level.
The way they're working those swings around, just not giving the defense any time to set up. And Queensland just need to think of something new. They're just getting, as we talked about earlier, either getting broken too easily or what they're calling just isn't working.
Yeah, even all the Victorian players, like maybe not necessarily the players like Prentice, but some of the lesser well-known players, the newer players, they're really doing their part for the team. They've been cutting wide and sort of staying out of those channels when the handlers are cutting wide. They've been giving those continuation options. Players like Bell, Steph Chung as well, cutting really nice and wide and giving them those options, and then looking up line for 1 or 2 seconds and then dumping it back to allow the handlers to do that swing again. So it's really been a really good team effort by Victoria this game, and that's just Queensland just hasn't had that, coupled with some big mistakes by their key players. To Mueller.
To Smith. Smith, the hammer swing, opens up that space very nicely.
Mueller, yep, over
and
the top.
Tries
nice
her own
hammer to
hammer.
Mueller.
And they're out, but once again,
A little bit too much pepper on that to Dahlia Hendy. And Victoria get the disc back again. And Victoria will be looking to punch this one in.
like he just overran that one, Burchett did. So now it gives Queensland another chance.
Queensland are actually closer to the end zone than they were on any of their possession points early in the point, so that's worked out well for them. Yap, swing it wide to Smith. Straight back to Yap. Back to Smith on that swing. She's looking downfield. Nice put to Hendy. Back to Mueller. 3 meters out from the end zone,
Just
and she
pops
goes
it
to
over the top.
Goes to the push pass straight to Kath Smith, and nice play by Queensland. Makes it 10-5.
So they're showing some spirit there. Getting a block after they turn the disc the first time.
Yeah, a little bit of fire. Some of the players, the rest of the Queensland squad's run onto the field finally, taking their jumpers off. Maybe that's the fire they needed. The first of many, they'll be hoping.
Overall, a very good first day of the Under-22 Championships.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful day for Frisbee. Good weather.
The wind may have pushed it, but it wasn't too bad. No rain.
That's the most important thing, I think,
No rain.
for a series tournament. As long as it's not freezing cold or boiling hot and there's no rain. That makes it a good day for me. But the fields here are very flat and really nice for Frisbee. No rolled ankles, and no chance of a rolled ankle really with the flat tracks that we're on.
I will literally cry.
Huda, so score this point and then add one to the highest.
That's it. So time cap happens. Finish this point that we're on, and then add one and play to that. So
Either to 11 or to 12, depending on the outcome at this point.
yeah,
Queensland now have their task set.
Not
Smith
too
with a
many.
big pull.
they only need 6 in a row. Sets it to Prentice. Prentice to Vino. Vino
Vino
down the
shoots
line.
deep.
She's jacked it.
Oh.
Oh, almost got their calls for the layout
Sally Yu, the layout
by
call.
Victoria on the sideline.
With the one without any cleats on. That was Kat Phillips with the layout call.
Kat Phillips, obviously such a good player in the Ultimate community. Most players will know her. Been playing for years. Just been drafted in the Melbourne women's AFL team, for those of you who are interested. started training a couple of weeks ago. She's down to support the Victorian women's team. And a huge foot block there.
Foot block at shoulder height.
Huge foot block by Banks. It was above her waist. Kat Smith thought, oh, this is on, and put the big flick into the end zone. Banks just threw the foot up.
Now. Get a replay.
That was fantastic.
Get 2 replays.
I've never seen a foot block that high in all my years watching Frisbee. So
Prentice, after all that, has to settle down the game and pick call.
I think everyone's still reeling after that foot block. A few people didn't even realise what had happened. They were like, was that a hand block? Was that a throwaway? What was that? But Victoria looking to capitalise. So it looks like it's coming in on 2. Prentice with the disc. Up the line. Unfortunate drop there by Sally Yu. Yap to pick up the disc. Swings it to Smith.
She got the disc rid quick there.
Yeah, swings it again to Ewan on the break side. Back to Smith, and they've just lost 20 metres. So far, 4 possessions, lost for 20 metres. Back to Yuli Yap on the break side, and she
nice shot, but Cowley reads it.
And I feel like we've called that a few times today, where gets it to Yuli Yap, and she's punted it directly into a Victorian player. Prentice picks it up, throws it straight over Vino's head. And Yuli Yap's picking it up again.
And another
gets
block.
A hand block. Vino with the hand block on the throw. The diving attempt to catch by Smith, but she just couldn't get there in time. And Victoria pick up the disc.
Oh, great trailing grab there.
I thought that was past her, but Vino just threw the arm out. And
you thought it was for her trying to snatch it.
Yeah, threw the hand up. Kat Smith with Banks on it. Is it going to be another foot block? No. She says that she's going to throw the hammer over the top. I won't give you the chance to get a foot block on me.
If you can foot block the hammer, we've got... This may not be your sport.
And it's been put up to...
Oh, unlucky. Try to toe the line there.
Yeah. Sort of thrown under the bus there by her teammate Sophie Taylor, who put the big throw up for her. But it was just too far out of bounds. She tried to toe the line, but wasn't tall enough on that occasion.
Big inside to Cowley. Cowley to Prentice. Prentice calling for people to go deep. Cowley gets under instead. Tricked everyone there.
Oh, Prentice threads the needle, and Yu just chucks the arm out. It was a great grab there. Gets it to Banks. Banks jacks it. I don't know if it's going to float.
Chong, oh.
Great pace there by Steph Chong, but she just couldn't run it down. Looks like it came out of Banks' hand a little bit at the wrong angle. Should have been a flat throw, but she threw it a little bit outside in. And with the wind the way it was, it just pushes it straight into the ground. Kat Smith picks up the disc, jacks it straight over the stack, and Vivian Ewan just runs that down. And there's a saying in Frisbee, once you do something good, you always do something bad. Vivian Ewan just great run, runs that down, turns around, looks for the dump, and throws it straight behind her player. So
should have just looked upfield then.
She should have looked in the end zone or thrown a hammer. Hammer for days, I reckon.
Big shot. Vina's just slipped out the back. Easy as you like.
I'm not sure what happened there. We might be able to see on the replay, but it looks like in the confusion,
just lost her defender there.
I think Vino might have cut long when Victoria still had possession. Queensland jacked it deep, and she didn't bother chasing it down, thinking it's going into the end zone. And then when Vivian Yun turned it over, all of a sudden Miriam Vino was just sitting in the end zone with no defender on her. Kirsten Banks obviously picked it up and jacked it to her. So this is the throw.
That's
the
gone over her
amazing
head
foot
almost.
block by Kirsten Banks earlier in the game. That's a fantastic foot block. That's one for the highlights reel.
And they're all on board, these Victorian girls, trying to emulate it. Can't reach nearly as high.
I don't know what she's been doing, but the flexibility on that is amazing. Maybe she's a gymnast from her past life. So you can see here the throw into the end zone. Kirsten Banks sees Vino just streaking out in the end zone with
Just
no defender on her
slipped out the back.
in acres of space. And all you got to do is put it somewhere in the vicinity.
Easy.
Doesn't even need to be close. And you've got a score. So time cap went at the start of that point.
Game to
Victoria
12.
finally scored it. It's a game to 12.
So this is the time for Queensland to make their run. They've got a crowd. It's a showcase game. Time cap's gone. It's time to get 7 in a row.
It's a Saturday night. Oh, and commentator's curse. Unfortunately, I know exactly how that feels. Ava Mueller just puts her hands up to catch the pull. Gets caught on the ring, and she just drops the pull, and that's not what you want on the last point of the game. Victoria just closed it up.
That's it.
12-5.
Clinical in the end, turned out by Victoria. That swinging from side to side really
Opened up the game.
Really put the defense in a lot of trouble there.
Yeah, Queensland looking good for the first couple of points, but they had 5 points in a row. And if you have 5 points in a row when you're making silly mistakes and the other team capitalises on them, you're not going to win. So, yeah, Victoria's a little bit more switched on that game, I think. And if they end up facing off later on, it's going to be a really good game.
Very exciting stuff.
All you guys back at home, enjoy your dinners. We're going to head off to the barbecue where they've got some burgers and snags cooking up for us. And we'll see you all tomorrow for the live streaming once again all day. Cheers.